morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second day of the 2019 Jay Swanson Memorial 9-ball tournament. We are coming to you live from Griff's Billiards here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. First match of the day on our feature table, we're going to have Max Maurer versus Ernie Rivas Jr. Max is representing Prescott, Arizona. Ernie's representing Oxnard, California. This tournament is a double elimination 9-ball tournament. All frontside matches are races to 8. All backside matches are races to 7. The finals are going to be one extended race to 11. It's a rack your own alternate break format. The magic rack is welcome. You don't have to use it, but you are welcome to should you choose to. Looks like Mr. Max Maurer won the lag, so he's going to be breaking off here in rack number 1. Max opts not to use the magic rack. Uses the standard wood rack, which is perfectly fine. Decent contact on the break. Unfortunately, didn't pocket a ball, so Ernie's going to come to the table and get us started. All these matches are being played on 9-foot diamond tables. We're playing cue ball fouls only, and the 3-foul rule is in effect. So Ernie tried to play safe behind the 8-ball. Just barely caught the rail, so it wasn't an illegal hit, but he didn't get the hook that he had intended. And Max played for a 1-5 combination. Didn't quite hit that one hard enough. First match of the morning, so these gentlemen may take a rack or two just to kind of work out a few jitters and get comfortable. I think we have some early morning, possible nerves, possible jitters. These two are fairly evenly matched according to Fargo. The gentleman at the table right now, Max, is a Fargo-rated 626 player. His opponent, Ernie, is a Fargo-rated 631 player. So there's only a difference of 5 points. So this is about as close to even as you're going to get, according to Fargo. Max tried to go one rail in between the 6 and 8, clipped the 2, and unfortunately clipped the 8-ball first, giving up ball in hand to Ernie. 7 balls left on the table. Everything's fairly open. I would say trickiest shot here would be from the 6 to the 7. The 2 to the 3 to the 4 connect pretty nicely. It's just getting back down for proper position on the 7. Ernie's comfortable playing both hands. He just switched hands for that shot. I'm always scared of somebody that's capable of playing well with both hands. I have a hard enough time playing with one. Ernie was able to pocket the 6 and come down and give himself a fairly nice angle for the 7. However, 2 shots prior, he did bump the 9, which may pose somewhat of an issue shooting the 8-ball. He may have to play an 8-9 combination. And you can see he tried to hold that cue ball for the combination rather than go up and down, and unfortunately undercut the 7 ball just enough to leave it hanging. I don't know if Mr. Maurer has a direct path to the 7. He does have a fairly simple rail first. should he choose to shoot that. And he did opt to go rail first. He played that very nicely. Very, very nice pace. And Max successfully pockets the 8-9 combination and takes rack number 1, bringing in Ernie to break. Do want to take a moment to recognize some of our sponsors. First will be Griff's Bar and Billiards here in Las Vegas. We are the official host of the Jay Swanson Memorial 9-ball tournament. Predator Cues. If you need any cues or any gloves or anything pool cue related, please visit predatorcues.com. They are the official cue and glove of CueSports International. I also want to say thank you to Simonis Cloth. They are the official cloth of CueSports International. Visit simoniscloth.com and see why Simonis is the best and most trusted cloth in the billiards industry. That beautiful cloth you see on the bed of this table, that's Simonis. Discount custom apparel, visit dcashirts.com for all your apparel needs. They are the official apparel for CueSports International. And also want to give a thank you to John Barton at JB Cases for his constant support. They are the official case of CueSports International. If you visit jbcases.com today, you can customize and make your own case. And remember, folks, protection matters. Protect your investment or investments. So Ernie had a dry break, bringing in Max for a possible 1-4 combo. Max unfortunately scratched in the upper right corner on your screen, bringing Ernie back to the table with the ball in hand. Kind of a smart shot there. He could have drawn that ball back and given himself position in the corner. He just simply rolled it forward and has position for the side, knowing that the 4-ball's hanging in the pocket. So he doesn't really have to do much with the cue ball to get a shot on it. I personally probably would have drawn that back. But I like what he did there. He's in a bit of a tricky spot now. I believe he's going to have to play position for the 5 in one of the side pockets, which he has done nicely. You can see at the screen the 5 wouldn't pass the 9 or the 8 ball in either lower corner pocket. And rather than risk it with a combination, he's played well positioned for the side pocket. Decent shot there by Max, or excuse me, by Ernie. He tried to hold that 7 ball just a little more. He didn't want quite as steep of an angle as he's given himself. However, I don't believe it's going to pose a problem for him. It's the look of a determined man right there. And he overcut it, so he must not like those steep cut angles. Max tried to put a powerful stroke on that ball. It's possible on this table, but you've got to hit it very, very well. You've got to split the pocket. Everything's got to be hit pretty good on this table. Max pockets the 7, comes 2 rails, back across the center table for a nice position on the 8 ball. And he'll run forward and come back up top for this 9. Well, came up a little bit short. So I believe Ernie's got no choice but to bank this ball. And like most cases, I'm wrong. He opted to play safe. It's a smart shot. He didn't want to risk selling out. He wasn't comfortable taking the bank shot. He didn't want to risk giving the game away. So he decided to leave about 8.5 feet of distance between the cue ball and the 9 ball for Max to try and negotiate.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. If you do not have an opponent, let me know. They're on the clock now. It's 10 minutes. It's a forfeit.
And Ernie tried to fire the bank. Up table, back down table, and then back up table again. Got about 7 feet of travel for Mr. Rivas here. Pocket this 9 ball. That's what I'm saying, folks. When you're firing them at these pockets, you've got to split them. You can't catch that rail on the way down if you're going to hit them that hard. Ernie decides to go ahead and concede this game to Max, and we are tied up at 1 apiece. These gentlemen are racing to 7. This is B-side action. This is going to be alternate break. Cue ball falls only. 3-fall rule is in effect. Looks like Max has opted to use the magic rack this time, so we'll see if he gets a better result than his dry break last time. Folks, I want to talk about just real quick, August 8th through the 13th here at Griff's in Las Vegas. We've got the U.S. Open 8-ball and 10-ball championships. Each event is limited to 64 players. There's $10,000 added to each event, $20,000 added total. We're having an all-around bonus as well. You must play both events to be eligible for the all-around bonus, but if you win, you win $3,500 and an invitation to the $100,000 added Predator World 10-ball championships in March of next year. The runner-up, the all-around runner-up, wins $1,500. You must play both events to be eligible for that all-around bonus. For more information on that and other events upcoming, please visit playcsipool.com. Max is getting ready to break rack number 3. This is his second break of the set. His first break was dry. He's opted to switch from the wood rack to the magic rack, which he's absolutely welcome to do. We'll see if he gives himself a little bit of a better result. We saw this a little bit yesterday with folks breaking from that side that he just broke from, that same spot right near where the 6 ball is. Typically with a template rack or a magic rack, whichever side you're breaking from, that wing ball tends to travel into the nearest corner. And we noticed yesterday that a lot of those corner balls were coming up high on firm break shots, and the breaker would oftentimes switch to the other side of the table, breaking from the opposite side. Same pace, same speed, but they were getting the wing ball to fall. So we've been noticing that there's been more successful breaks from the other side of the table. And that's something that Mr. Maurer and Mr. Rivas are going to need to figure out for themselves. Very, very nice cut there by Max. Steep cut on the 2 ball, gets him 9 on the 3 ball. He muscled that 3-ball into the corner. I don't believe he wanted to clip the 4-ball with the cue ball. So I imagine he's going to need to play some sort of safety here. I don't see anything too aggressive on offer. Max doing a bit of studying here. He's, I think he's trying to look for something aggressive. Either that or he's trying to figure out which way he wants to play safe. Kind of like what he's looking at here, just feathering it behind the 5. There you go. He did sell out an edge of it, but I don't believe that ball is pocketable. It's going to be really tough for Ernie to be aggressive from here. Even if it was to clip the edge of that 4, it's not going to pass the 7 in that corner pocket. So he's either going to kick or clip the side of it and possibly spin the cue ball. 3-4 rails for some sort of safe. I like what he thought. I like what he attempted there. I mean, he came up about 6 inches too far, but that was a little more simple than the shot I had in mind, and still would have given a good result. However, he's left Max a very easy opportunity to play a return safety, and he's done so pretty well. You can see based on the position of the cue ball, he can't go to our right and kick 1 rail, and he can't go to the left and kick 1 rail. The 5's in the way. So that was pretty good placement of the 4-ball itself. I think this is a minimum 2-rail escape. I see a 3-railer, but the 2-railer is just too much easier than that 3-railer. And he did go for the 3-railer I was looking at. Came up a little bit too sharp, a little too much spin. And to Max's credit, that was a good safety. It was a great attempt by Mr. Rivas, but a good safety as well. So. Guys, if you're here in Las Vegas or somewhere nearby, feel free to come on down to Griff's Billiards. There's no cover charge, great food, great service, awesome pool. It's only going to get better as the day goes on. We will have a champion by the end of the day. And I believe starting at 12:30, we'll have winner side action matches on the stream. Was a little stretched out there shooting the 8, and I believe he accidentally put a touch of inside on that cue ball and held it up. And he didn't want to do that. He left himself a stiff angle on the 9-ball here. I fancy him to make this shot, but it's a little bit tougher than he would have wanted to leave himself. He back cut that ball very nicely. And Max jumps out to a 3-0 lead over Mr. Rivas. This is a race to 7. Say thank you once again to a few of our sponsors. Simonis Cloth, that beautiful blue cloth you see on the bed of this table and every other pool table in the room. Simonis 860. Visit SimonisCloth.com to see why Simonis is the best and most trusted cloth in the billiards industry. They are the official cloth of CueSports International. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, watching from afar. Feel free to hit the share button and let's get some more people on here, huh? Oh, that's very unfortunate for Ernie. He controlled the cue ball very nicely on the break. Left the 9-ball in the jaws of the pocket. One shot, game over. Free game for Mr. Maurer. Max quickly jumping out to a 4-0 lead over Mr. Rivas. Folks, coming up July 17th through the 27th here at the Rio Hotel and Casino, we've got the USAPL National Championships. More than 600 league players, more than 700 mini tournaments to play, more than 300 diamond pool tables, and more than 40+ vendors. For more information or to register yourself or your team, please visit playcsipool.com/events. That is July 17th through the 27th at the Rio Hotel and Casino, right here in beautiful Las Vegas. A mile and a half down the road. And Max has opted to use the magic rack again, sticking with breaking from the right side, and as I say that, he picks up and moves to the left. Now, if you remember, a 3-ball came high last time. I bet he makes the wing ball this time. And I'm wrong. He came at it pretty aggressively, and it came high again. He's breaking pretty firm, but that is a fantastic break nonetheless. He pocketed 2 balls, and he's got great position on the 1. The 3 balls right in front of the side pocket, so he should be off and running. Max is kind of drawing it out in his mind how he wants to play this out. I think he sees it now, so he's ready to put that plan in action. I didn't see him playing position on the 3 in the corner here. It's an interesting shot. Let's see if it works out. He's not a big fan of it. I don't know if he's worried the 8 is hindering him a little bit, or if he's just concerned because it's as close to the rail as it is. Doesn't need to do anything for position on the 6. All he needs to do is roll this 5 in about pocket speed. He will have the perfect angle for the 6. Well, it got dramatic, but I think it ended up okay for him. Another half a revolution, and he was going to be in some problems, but nevertheless, it's a game of fractions, and he came out good there. I think Max has managed to work out his morning jitters. This is a very nice break and run. And just like that, Max is up 5-0 over Mr. Rivas Jr. And as I was just touching on the USAPL National Championships, they will be running side by side with the BCAPL World Championships. Same dates, July 17th through the 27th. Same location, the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas here. The BCAPL includes more than 5,000+ league members and still offers the same 700+ mini tournaments, more than 300 diamond bar tables, more than 40 divisions of all skill levels, and more than 40 vendors. So plenty of opportunity to get some new equipment, some new clothing. So be sure to visit stop by the USAPL and BCAPL championships here in Las Vegas, July 17th through the 27th. We are coming to you live from Griff's Bar and Billiards here in Las Vegas. It's a lovely Sunday morning. This is the second day of the 23rd annual Jay Swanson Memorial 9-ball tournament. We are playing a double elimination 9-ball format. Race to 9 on the winner's side, race to 7 on the one-loss side. Finals are going to be one extended race to 11. We're playing an alternate break rack your own format. All matches are played on 9-foot diamond tables. We're playing cue ball fouls only, and the 3-foul rule is in effect. Players have the option to use a wood rack or magic rack, whichever they'd like. They're not forced to use either one. Playing traditional 9-ball, one racked on the spot. Doesn't matter where the rest of them are racked, aside from the 9 being in the middle. I want to say thank you to Simonis Cloth. Visit simoniscloth.com and find out why they are the most trusted cloth in the billiards industry. Big shout out and thank you to John Barton with JB Cases. JB Cases is the official case of CueSports International. Visit JB Cases today. And remember, folks, protection matters. There's a very cool design tool on that website. It's very easy to submerge yourself in that and get stuck for an hour or two designing your own custom case. It's pretty awesome. Also visit DCAshirts.com. Discount Custom Apparel is the official apparel of CueSports International. PredatorCues.com, the official cue and glove of CueSports International. Please visit PredatorCues.com for all your pool cue, glove, shaft, case, whatever you're looking for. PredatorCues.com. Ernie decided to go take a break, wash his hands for a moment. He's back now, so we are going to break off in rack number 6. Ernie trailing 5-0. Made a bunch of noise, but I don't hear anything falling. Another dry break. Don't see that too often, especially with a magic rack. I did notice that he broke from the bed of the table rather than from the side rails like most people have been. I think he's more or less trying to figure it out at the moment. I think he's tried it 2 or 3 different ways and hasn't been as successful as he'd like to be. So he's making minor adjustments to try and get that break figured out. He is going to need to get it figured out pretty quick because Max only needs 2 more. Max decided not to be too aggressive or take a flyer there and just parked the cue ball on the rail. Sent the one around to play safe. I think he was kind of hoping to run into traffic down at the foot end of the table. The 9, 5, 3, or 4 ball. However, that 1 ball managed to navigate around traffic and poke its head out. So Mr. Rivas can opt to be aggressive here if he would like. Do not believe the 3 passes the 4, so I think there's going to need to be some manipulation of those 2 object balls at some point. Max didn't like the, Ernie didn't like the thin cut into the side pocket. So he played a very smart shot and hid the cue ball from the 1 ball. It's a pretty simple 1-rail escape, but we'll see how the results fare for Mr. Rivas. Nice contact. He was smart not to hit it too hard, knowing that there's traffic down there that he could possibly tie up with. I'm not sure if the 1 passes the 5. I do believe it does. I like what he was attempting there. I think he was hoping to catch the rail with the cue ball and spin down just a touch behind the 4. It's really a tough shot to predict on a kick shot. So I think he also knows that he didn't want to hit it too hard because he didn't want to move that 3 on the 4 ball. He didn't want to possibly sell out the rack to Ernie here. There's a carom on offer. He could just play a stop shot here into the side pocket with the deuce. And clip the left side of the 3 ball with some left-hand spin and pocket the 4 into that pocket. It's not the highest percentage shot, but it's the smartest aggressive route I can see from here. That was a great shot up into the corner. I like what he tried to do there. He gave himself took a tougher shot to try and reward himself, and didn't quite get the result that he wanted, but still a good shot nonetheless. Imagine he'll just bank this ball up table and use the 5 and 9 for cover. Oh, he opted to thin it and leave the cue ball up table. I do believe the 3-4 can be made. You can see he's pointing at the rail where he wants the cue ball to touch. He's actually going to spin this ball with some left-hand spin, I believe, and hit the rail first and clip the underside of the 3, pushing the 4 into the corner pocket. Position on the 3 and the cue ball will be questionable, but I believe, based on where he was pointing at the rail right there, he's looking to kick this ball with a little bit of left-hand spin, which he has done, and he actually managed to get too far under the 3, which is very hard to do from where he was. So Mr. Rivas comes to the table. It's pretty wide open. He's got a steep cut into the upper right-hand corner with the 3 ball, but if he makes this, I fancy him to run the rest of the rack off. Good shot there by Ernie. It's tough for me to tell if he was trying to play a 2-way or if he had safety on his mind the whole way, but he did pretty well. Max looks like he was eyeing up a massé. That is one heck of a massé shot. He has gone back to grab his jump cue. Imagine he'll jump the right edge of the 9, coming in between the 6 and 7 and going rail first into the 3 ball. It's a tall order, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, and that's what he did do. He did go rail first and did hit the 3. Didn't pocket it where he had intended, and surely didn't want to leave himself 6.5 feet of distance, but the good news is he's still at the table, so he can still hold control. Uh-oh. You see Max kind of nod his head and acknowledge that he got a little bit lucky there. He hit that a little bit poor, but was very fortunate to leave the cue ball where he did. I'm not even sure if Max can hit the 4 straight on. I think he may have to kick it. I believe he's hooked behind the point of this lower right corner pocket. Ernie tried to massé out of that nasty situation Mr. Maurer put him in, and fortunately kind of swerved around the 4 ball. Wasn't able to make clean contact. So he has given up ball in hand to Max here with 5 object balls left on the table. He's got a little bit of navigating to do on this shot here, but I don't see it posing a problem. Very nice shot. Comes across 2 rails, a little bit of draw, ends up in very good position. Imagine he'll go forward between the 8 and 9 here, like so. And I think he's landed absolutely perfect. He doesn't need to play with any rails right here. I think he can just play a stop shot if he'd like, or draw it back a couple of inches. Doesn't need to bring any rails or English into play. He's in good position. He'll spin this with some left hand top spin. Come 3 rails around for position on the 9 in the same pocket. Just like so. Very nicely done. And Max is up 6-0. Max is on the hill. So Ernie's going to need 7 in a row. Max just needs 1. Folks, if you're just tuning in, this is day 2 of the 2019 23rd annual Jay Swanson Memorial, also known as the Swanee. This is a double elimination 9-ball tournament. Race to 8 on the front, race to 7 on the back. 1 single race to 11 final, alternate break, rack your own. 9-foot diamond tables, cue ball fouls only, and the 3-foul rule is in effect. Mr. Maurer is going to take apart rack number 7 here. That's a focused man right there. Pockets 2 balls, one of them being the 1 ball. I couldn't see if the other was the wing ball or not. I would imagine it was, but not too sure. Kind of irrelevant at this point, but very nice break. He can pocket this ball and draw it back a foot or 2. Give himself pretty good position for the 3. Looked like he tried to cheat the pocket just a touch and overcut the deuce. Even if he'd made it, he'd have been in a rough spot for the 3 ball. So Mr. Rivas gets his opportunity at the table. He's got to make something happen now. Very nice shot there by Ernie. Pockets the 2 in the lower right corner pocket. A very nice stroke for position on the 3 ball here. I think he'll go 1 rail up and back up towards center table. Kind of like so. We saw him undercut a similar shot like this 3-4 racks ago. Let's see if he corrects what he had done wrong the last time. And he did so very nicely. Pockets the 4. He doesn't want to get near the 9. He doesn't want to be elevated. He's in a good spot. I think he can cut this ball to the upper left, taking the cue ball 2 rails, or on the right-hand side of the 6 ball for position in the right-hand upper pocket, or lower right-hand pocket as you're looking at the screen now. And he hit that absolutely perfectly. Pretty straight in on the 7 ball here, but I imagine he'll probably just stop it there. I don't think he wants to take the rails into play if he doesn't have to. I stand corrected. He hit that beautifully. Mr. Rivas is on the board. He is on the board. Max Maurer is leading by a scoreline of 6-1 over Ernie Rivas Jr. This is day 2 of the Jay Swanson Memorial. It's the 23rd annual. Coming to you live from Griff's here in Las Vegas. Coming up August 8th through the 13th, we've got the U.S. Open 8-ball and 10-ball championships. Held right here at beautiful Griff's Billiards in Las Vegas. Each event is limited to 64 players. Each event will have $10,000 added, so a total of $20,000 added to both events. You will also have an all-around bonus. The all-around champion will win $3,500 and an invitation to the $100,000 added Predator World 10-Ball Championships in March of next year. The all-around runner-up will receive a $1,500 bonus. You must play both events to be eligible for the all-around bonus. And that is going to be August 8th through the 13th right here at Griff's. Visit playcsipool.com for more information on this event, as well as other upcoming events. All right, Ernie tears apart rack number 8 and comes up dry. Didn't really sell out anything here. There's not anything too aggressive. Max can't bank this into any pocket. He's got no cut shot, so he's gonna have to play it safe here. I think he wanted to hit it just a little bit thinner. I don't think he wanted to push the 1 in front of a pocket. I'm not quite sure what his plan was on that shot there. I didn't get enough time to draw it up in my head before he pulled the trigger. Folks, if you're watching at home, you can visit ctsondemand.com or playcsi.com for links to the live active bracket. I shouldn't say live, but the active bracket. It's not being updated every rack, it's being updated every match. So if you're curious or looking for, you know, a friend or a specific player, feel free to visit playcsipool.com. You'll see 2 links in front of you. One will say watch live. You can click that to watch the stream. The link below that will say tournament bracket. Click that. It should give you all the info you're looking for. Ernie with a nice cut on the 2 and the side holds the cue ball fairly nicely with some inside draw, or excuse me, outside draw. He's going to be slightly elevated over the 6 ball here for his cut shot on the 3. I think if he rolls it in, he gets natural position. He hit it a little firm and came underneath it. Looks like he might scratch. And he did. So Max has another opportunity here. He's only got to run, I shouldn't say only, but he's got to run seven object balls. I think this shot right here is going to be his toughest one. But he's got ball in hand. A 3 to the 4. I believe is the toughest shot left in this rack. If the 4 doesn't pass the 5, it's definitely an issue. If it passes the 5, he's just got to get himself as close to that 4 as possible. And based on how he played it, it tells me it does go. And he is, looks like he's ended up absolutely perfect. Just play a stop shot. Yeah, he did it very nicely there with ball in hand. It's not always as easy as it looks, folks. But it is easy to bat 1,000 from the commentary booth. So he's overdrawn for position here by a good 1.5 feet. He's left himself on a 50-yard line. One of his options aren't quite available. He can't bank this ball. He can could back cut it into the corner, maybe hold the cue ball with inside. There's always a safety somewhere should he choose to go that route. I think he could play it in that same lower left corner with a touch of top inside, which I think is what he's doing. And he recovered very, very nicely. So Max showing, Max proving that he came off the gate a little bit nervous, so just not quite shooting as strong as he is capable of, because he's shown us here in the last 3-4 racks of this match that he's got some firepower as well. And I'm sure Mr. Rivas does as well. He just couldn't quite get it going in this match. And Max Maurer takes down our first match of the day by a scoreline of 7-1 over Ernie Rivas Jr. I believe our next match is scheduled for about 40 minutes from now, tentatively. Should both players arrive and decide to play early, they are welcome to start early. My name is Ben Sutherland. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back shortly. This is the 2019 Jay Swanson Memorial, coming to you live from Griff's Bar and Billiards here in Las Vegas.